Cool. Well, welcome to the Beyond Cinema studio, Mr. Gavin Free.
Thank you very much.
Well, welcome to Sundance. Yeah. Sundance has changed a little bit over the last few years. We've seen, obviously the introduction of VR all up and down the street, and obviously also content from people like you who started off on YouTube, but transitioning into feature films and all sorts of other media. When you began your journey, working on some feature films, things like Hot Fuzz and Specialized, did you have any kind of concept of what road you were about to embark upon?
I had no idea I was going down this road, to be honest. Yeah. I thought I'd always be behind the scenes. I really enjoyed working as a cameraman on movies. Like Sherlock Holmes 2 was probably my favourite one.
Yeah.
It's like a giant slow-mo action scene that goes on forever, it seems. But yeah, it's definitely a change to be in front of the camera. And because I spent 7 years behind the camera, I felt very strange to be on set and doing nothing. Sitting around waiting for other people to work.
And so then what was the motivation for starting Slow-Mo Guys? Was that just something that you just felt like would be cool kind of side project?
I felt like on YouTube there wasn't that much slow motion content, and usually it was transferred from film at very low res, and there was never really any context to any of it. So I wanted to put some personality behind what I was good at, which was, I guess, filming stuff in slow motion. And yeah, we just started this hosted show, kind of similar to the feel of Mythbusters, where we just kind of have a chat to camera, do an experiment, and then sum it up.
When did you get the feeling? At what point, maybe at what mark in the subscriber number, or at what mark in just kind of the feeling you got from it, did you feel like this was going to be something that took over your life?
We were probably about 15 to 20 videos in, and our videos would get 20,000 views or something. Some of them were linked on small websites, but then we put up a video of the giant 6-foot water balloon, popping that, and it got 2 million views in a day, and the subs just went through the roof. And then I was and all of a sudden I was appearing on TV. I actually did a live link to a breakfast show in Australia, which, because it was on Saturday morning, I came straight from the pub on Friday night to do the interview, which is cool.
Yeah.
So that was the moment, and then from then on we've regularly been hitting 1 million views at least per video.
And then so you then also had to kind of maintain or adopt that persona that you are now probably almost more of a on-camera guy than behind-the-camera guy, right?
Very much so, yeah.
Yeah.
Definite switch there.
Yeah, and so is that now something that you're celebrating? Because in Lazer Team, you're very much in front of the camera too.
It's true, very in front of the camera in Lazer Team. Yeah, it's probably not where I feel the most comfortable. I do really enjoy the technical side of the film industry, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Lazer Team was really fun to make, even though 75% of the movies at night, and we were just up all night for 2 months.
Yeah. What kind of, in terms of the response from the YouTube community, obviously, the numbers are at about, 7 million plus for your subscriber base on some?
Yeah, 7.3 or something.
And so you've got this kind of really just built-in network of people who respond to the things that you're posting. What's having that dialogue? What's the key? I know you're speaking on a panel today, kind of talking about these sorts of issues, but what's the key to maintaining that and the expectations that they have? Do you find it's about consistency or creativity? What's the
slow-mo channel is pretty different to most channels. We've never had a regular upload schedule, which probably isn't advised for any YouTube channel. It's really just when I have time to do one. But I think if the content is good enough, or if it's interesting enough, it doesn't really matter as much. So sometimes we'll be able to show something that everyone has seen 1 million times before, but we're showing it in a way that no one's ever seen it. And that makes it very shareable. Also across many language barriers, even if you could just skip ahead from us talking, just skip straight to the slow-mo. And it kind of applies all around the world, which I think is a big part of it too.
So speaking about all around the world, you moved to Austin.
I did.
And took up this position as creative director, right, at Rooster Teeth?
Yeah, originally I was a fan of Rooster Teeth when I was about 14. I loved Red vs. Blue, and now I'm in executive management somehow.
And you got to direct some Red vs. Blue at one stage too, right?
Yeah, I directed the 7th season. That was before I moved over full time. I was contracted to do that.
Yeah.
And that was really sort of an audition for working there.
And so what did you feel was beneficial about moving to Austin, not just for you, but for what Austin offers?
Austin, I really only moved to Austin because that's where Rooster Teeth are.
Yeah.
And being such a big fan, I just love those guys so much, and I was like, if I could work there every day, that's going to be ideal. Like, I wouldn't want to do anything else, and that's why I'm in Austin. And I love Austin. It's such a great place. It's very youthful. There's a lot of creativity and music around. So
yeah,
it's good to be amongst that.
Very cool. And then on Lazer Team specifically, you're premiering that on the YouTube Red platform.
Yes.
When's the date?
Early February.
Early Feb this week. Early Feb.
Early Feb.
YouTube Red.
Awesome. And so kind of what was the process behind that for you to be like an actor in a film?
It was very different. It was challenging. But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it was. I thought I'd be more uncomfortable, but we were surrounded by, our friends and talented people in the Austin film industry. So
being executive management at Rooster Teeth, and then I'm assuming this cut into your day-to-day on that.
Well, I became creative director after the filming of Lazer Team.
So good.
But it did cut into my time on Achievement Hunter, which is our sort of gameplay section of the company. So we preloaded a load of content because you definitely don't want to stop making YouTube. Even if you start on YouTube and you're going to do something else for a while, you want to keep the YouTube going at all times, because otherwise you could come back and there might be no one there anymore.
And so what do you see as being the future of this? I mean, obviously full screen and companies like this have set up these kind of really big management structures for people who specialize in kind of new media formats. And so we're seeing a lot of personalities come out of these sectors, and there seems to be this kind of now this start to be this cross-pollination between what people consider to be traditional media and new media, and how people can go from YouTube to television to films, and there seems to be those barriers are definitely breaking down. For you, does that mean, what do you see as being the kind of the future opportunities, given the support that YouTube has for you as well at a corporate level?
Well, with sort of the widespread of the Lazer Team promotion, I feel like it's amazing how you can just be up there with other movies. Like, I was just looking at IMDb the other day, and it was coming soon, all these actual movies, and then Lazer Team. So maybe Lazer Team's an actual movie amongst all those other movies, which I think is really cool. So I guess more of that, more of just like, you can start anywhere and do anything now, really.
Yeah, and end up with billboards in your own hometown.
You can be like an 8-story billboard.
Very cool. Well, thanks for coming and spending a few minutes with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.